Call.
Yeah. Something like that. There you go.
Are we on?
Yep.
What was that date again? February
Fourth.
fourth?
March.
Six,
Or
or March fourth, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
right, March 4th. We can start whenever I can do that later.
Right, for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Call the meeting to order, approve the agenda, and I think we need to change it to approve Nick Torkelson on the Board of Adjustment.
I'd make a motion that we add that to item.
I'll second.
Any other discussion on the agenda? Any other corrections?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Both carried. Approve the minutes of January 22nd.
After perusing through, they look to be correct from last meeting, motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Both carried. General public, anybody here that wants to speak? Okay. Katie,
Now it's
you're up. Good morning.
My name is Katie Schulke. I'm from the I'm from the Department of Corrections. Once was the Secretary of Department of Correctional Services. We have merged with DOC on July 1. And I'm just here to talk a little bit about where we are.
You can sit, you don't have to stand.
Where we are in Humboldt County, since we no longer have a board of directors member that meets with us every month. So I have a handout here. I was a probation officer 3, which means I covered the high risk caseload in Humboldt County for years. And then I became a supervisor for 8 years in Humboldt, and I had enough of that. So I'm now the executive officer. So I do a lot of policy writing, investigations and things like that in Humboldt County. So if you guys have questions, I left my business card here, but I just wanted to come and talk to you a little bit about what's going on in Humboldt County with crime and how we're offering services to those people that we serve in Humboldt County. And then we just recently offered employed a probation officer here, and she will be starting next Tuesday to come to Humboldt. Her name is Lupita Riley. Her phone number's on here. And we hired a new supervisor in Humboldt. His name is Don Walter. He's also listed. So if you have any questions for him, he can be contacted at that phone number. But a little bit about the clients in Humboldt. Actually, our numbers are down here, which is good. I'm not sure if that means we're doing good work or people are behaving.
It just moved.
Or that happens, yeah. So we supervise clients on probation, interstate compact, which means we supervise people across border state lines. Probation, parole, RWS, which is before they're convicted. And then we supervise them by risk level. So I'm not gonna get too far into that, but like OWI clients who aren't high in risk level, sometimes they get in trouble one time and then they're done. Sometimes they repeat and then their risk goes up. So typically the offenses in Humboldt for lower risk are drug possession and OWIs. The higher risk clients, as you'll see on your paper, most common are drug trafficking. And then the treatment services that we provide in the community, our goal is to keep them in the community. So typically if they're on for drug offenses and OWIs, we don't want them to go to prison. We want to keep them out of prison. So how do we do that? We offer services, domestic abuse, they're court ordered, it's an Iowa law. So everybody who has a domestic abuse charge has to go through treatment. But the cool thing that we're offering right now is we are trying to get tablets in the hands of clients that go to prison immediately when they hit the door. When they go to prison, we are trying to get dosage to them, treatment as soon as they go to prison. So we're already working on re-entry as soon as they go to prison, because we know they're gonna come back to us, which is something new that we're offering in 4 prisons right now, and we're trying to work on 6 prisons. So it's a lot of money, but a lot of services, a lot of time, but it's showing that it's really effective. So that's pretty cool. As far as Humboldt, the most common, as you could imagine, is the drugs. So we're trying to get a handle on it. We're also offering mental health treatment in the community that they don't have to pay for, because the biggest barrier that we have is insurance, money, reaching those people that are in rural counties, which we know what that's like. People that don't have internet, and so we're reaching them over Zoom. We're providing the services through the tablet, and things like that. So really just trying to get services to people, especially in Humboldt County, that haven't been able to have access to those services before.
Are you working with the mental health regions at all?
We rely on them a lot.
Okay.
They are so overworked, and so we are trying to collaborate with them. And honestly, we're trying to take a little bit of the weight off of them, by trying to put those tablets in the hands of those people. Then we can kind of case manage with them.
Okay, good.
Just because we know they can't do it all.
Right.
I mean, they have one gal covering 7 counties, and the outreach is just, it's not possible.
Yeah,
Yeah, so.
okay. I was just curious.
So really, I just wanted to let you know what we're doing. A lot of people were, including us, were a little bit frightened once we joined with DOC, what's gonna happen. How's it gonna affect us? How's it gonna affect our little counties? And I'm from Humboldt, so I was really worried, but I'm not gonna let that happen if I have anything, because I'm here, so. And I think it's a good thing. We're doing good things here, so.
Good.
Any questions?
Hopefully those numbers continue to drop.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that go into it, our prison populations are still overcrowded, so. We're not doing great there. We're working on it. I know our DOC director still has things in the works. She's still pushing people out. So we're doing what we can on our end, but we don't have control over that, so.
Who is your DOC director?
Beth. Put me on the spot.
Sorry, I'm
It's okay.
sorry.
I got a question.
Yeah.
So these are basically based on the people who are incarcerated.
No, these
No.
people are in our community right now.
No,
Well,
but
actually,
when
I
you
looked
said
up.
the numbers is going down, is that could be because of the cases have been bled out to a
Yeah.
lower charge?
Could be. Probably.
More than likely, that's.
Well, there's a lot of things that go into it, like charges are being dropped. The cases aren't strong. The police work, county attorneys are dropping them. The jails are full. I know in Webster County that happens a lot. They're being pled out. Many things. I could point
Okay.
fingers everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
So it's, I was on the second
Mhm,
judicial district
mhm.
board, and has it been all right? You kind of sound like since, and how did that work exactly? I was really confused through the whole process.
so now you're the advisory
I know, are
board.
we gonna do any advising? I know Amanda, no, I didn't.
So that's why she wanted us to reach out and come here and just kind of like
She said that.
keep it, just keep you all notified, like we still want you all involved, and we still want to let you know that this is where we're at. It's so gray that we just don't know.
Okay,
Well, the whole state, that's the way the whole state is
Yeah.
going. They're going
I
to,
know it's,
mental health's the same thing. I'm not even on an advisory board now. I
Yeah.
mean, they've taken all local control away,
Mhm,
so.
mhm. We're-
And
Right
'cause
now,
they
we're
know
just,
best, evidently.
well, and right now, we're just trying to blend policy, and it's been kind of messy.
Yeah.
which entity is actually responsible for taking this over or blending into it, did you say?
Department of Corrections, we are all under Department of
All of
Corrections.
on the Department of Corrections.
That was the big brainstorm
Mm.
to cut over half of the departments and combine them, which. The fluidity of it is not gonna work, I don't think. I think in 5 to 10 years, it's all gonna go back anyway, so. Because
Perhaps,
they're gonna find out, they do that with mental health all the time too. They'll
Yeah.
try one thing and that doesn't work. Oh, we're gonna do this. And then it's the people who suffer.
yeah.
So,
which is too bad.
yeah, it is.
I mean, cause they're the ones that need the services and they're the ones that are hurting.
But it sounds like you're not totally discouraged at this point.
No, second district, we're pretty innovative. And so we're still doing our innovative stuff.
Yeah.
The tablet
I know
program was
about the
ours,
Tablet
Mhm.
thing.
and we're still doing it.
That's good.
Yeah.
So do you know from Amanda, are you gonna, do any kind of an advisory board meeting a couple times a year or something, or?
I can ask her and if you
See, I
want,
said, just keep me updated.
Yep.
That's what I sent back
Yep.
to her, and I never heard anything.
and I can let her know that you're asking and maybe
That's just
have,
asking.
Yep.
She didn't really say, cause I don't think she really knew.
yeah,
but She basically said as much as what you did today.
yeah. I don't wanna keep pushing that down the road, I'm
No,
sorry, but I can
No,
certainly
that's
let her
fine,
know.
that's fine, and if you can show up a couple times a year, that's fine too.
Absolutely, I'm more than
That's
willing to
probably
do that.
more meaningful than me trying to
Yeah.
relay anything.
Yep,
Mhm.
I just wanted to keep you guys updated, so I appreciate you letting me be on your agenda.
Well, thank you, and
No,
keep up the good work.
Katie.
Yep, thanks, have a good Monday.
Yeah. You guys want a copy of that paper? Hey.
We can run it after you.
Oh.
Ready for me?
Yep.
Yes.
Morning,
Good, how are you?
good.
All right. Paul did a radiator count. Instead of our estimated roughly 40 to 50,
We're 92.
92. So that changes things.
But added on to the building or?
drastically.
There's radiators in places that kind of surprised me, but.
Yeah,
Do we really need like two in here? Do we really need two?
Well,
yeah, I asked Paul to talk with Nick.
I talked with Nick. He thought it would be best to put the controls on each thermostat. Some of the radiators we have do have valves on them. But in the long run, how that affects the consistency of the heat and everything throughout the building, he felt it would be best to put them on all.
Okay.
Now, I don't know what it would take to eliminate it, if
It might be worse trying to eliminate one than leaving it there too. That doesn't look like a real simple process.
no, there's a lot of plumbing involved in
That's what I thought.
all that.
It was
Alright.
647, was it? For each one,
Well,
wasn't it?
But
Yeah, it's under 700.
Yeah, it was under.
like in here, if you do one, will the other one tie into that one or?
I can't answer that question. I don't know.
Yeah, 647.
I would imagine they have to tie together, otherwise,
Right,
how would you
Yeah,
but if you put controls on one, will the other one
control the
control the other one too?
I doubt it,
yeah.
I don't think so.
because they both got their own little.
They both have their own little
controls
controls
right
on
now.
them.
Okay,
This, when he told me that, I just happened to get something from Alyssa O'Connor, this Economic Advantage 365 special edition letter. It has to do with a grant that's you can apply for. And it says the awards will be from 50 to 600,000. You have to go through an energy audit. And which is, there's no cost to that. And then if they say yes, it qualifies, then you fill out the grant papers and request. Well, if we would qualify the grant, maybe we could go back to the other system that's better. Or maybe just stay with this one. And I think we should apply for this grant before we proceed.
right,
That's my thoughts, because it's based on energy efficiency, saving money, less carbon in the air. And we're gonna reduce our fuel consumption by doing this. So I'm sure, I would definitely think it would qualify.
I would think,
boiler controls
yeah, I would think,
qualify too,
I would think so. Because you're doing that to save energy.
right,
And it's for cities, counties, small business, nonprofits.
Who's that through?
Mid-American.
Mid-American and Energy. We're gonna move ahead with the
They're fixing the boiler.
firebox and
Yes.
and the controls on the other.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He billed on that already. The reason being. He's gotta carry that. And. Once it's installed, he has 30 days. To have that paid for. So the time lapse in payments. Is why he did that.
Yeah, I think that's fine, our budget, we have money in our budget for that, so,
Mhm.
but I just think it'd be worth our effort to apply for this grant.
Oh,
Right.
definitely. Who's gonna apply it?
And Mid-American will come out and do the
Energy
They do
audit.
the energy audit,
You need insulation and this and
and
that.
it probably won't hurt us to do
No, I
that
was gonna say,
anyway.
we probably haven't done it
Yeah.
forever.
Mhm.
So if we do 92 at 647.50, that's 59,570.
Mhm.
So hopefully we'd be able to get
Yeah, I
a
mean,
good sized chunk for, if it's that grant, that'd be great.
yeah. So I do,
Even with the compressor running again. I was still here. Twice on Saturday, twice on Sunday,
Mhm.
because it still gets too warm,
Great.
especially with the temperature we're having outside.
mhm.
I would say let's call Mid-American today and try to get
Yeah.
scheduled for their.
I think
Energy
there
audit,
was a
go ahead and
page
get
to
that.
this that had the
Yeah.
contact information. I do believe
So let's
somewhere.
forward it if we don't have it.
You just call Mid-American?
Yeah, it was,
Yeah.
there was an email there, she talked to somebody, or you already can call.
So you'd have a better chance if you had the letter to get the right number rather than.
Yeah.
Be on hold
Right.
for an hour and a half.
Mhm.
Do you want me to call that number or? Chris or?
Well, one of you two should, because you probably have to walk them through the building.
Right.
Okay.
You know the
Make it work
answers.
for your schedule and theirs and. Mhm.
Okay.
You show them all 92 right here.
I'll get with Trish and we'll get that figured out.
Okay. Perfect, Paul, thank you.
Sounds
Okay.
good. Thank you.
Yep. Did he give you any time on the fall? Did he give you any time on the other part that he already is in Billis?
On the-
When
on the
will
other
that
boiler-
be? The what?
The other boiler, getting it up and running.
They've got it ordered. I would guess that should be coming real quick because. Cause he wanted to send that bill out to get the timing right. So I would guess that's gonna be real soon. All right. I can talk to him and find out. We'll just ask if they had a time frame on shipping and what the time frame would be for putting it in. Okay. So we know where we're at. All right, I'll talk to him, and find that out. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yep.
Just, FYI, reading through the more extensive information, if I'm reading this right, the application deadline is March 18th.
We gotta do it on.
We better get after it.
Yep.
Mhm.
And that tells you about the application process. I would suggest doing it, like right now,
ASAP.
right now.
Mhm.
It's not something we can all up with all and getting called and that.
Any other discussion on that?
Set up an account and you apply for the grant.
Mhm.
So you planning on, do we need to table that till we listen or get that through Mid-America or what?
Table which,
Well, it says possible discussion and possible action on boiler.
I know the action on the boiler was getting
Other
was it the
stuff,
west boiler
control.
fired up or the east one, it is, yeah, that one,
That one?
because that doesn't qualify for this grant.
No, I understand. I'm just
Yeah.
wanting to make
Yeah.
sure that we don't need
And
to.
I think we approved that last week.
Yeah.
We're just putting a hold on the ordering the parts for these radiators.
Right.
All right,
Okay, we're a little early, but I don't think it matters.
I see
Corey.
Corey's in.
Corey's here.
Morning. Get him in and out.
Morning.
Morning.
If you recall, we had a jailer resign a couple weeks ago. We had an ad in the paper. We did interviews last Monday. I think we interviewed 5 applicants. We had a really good pool. We ultimately made our decision to hire Katie Hood. And I guess I'm just looking for board approval to accept her hiring and then to make it retroactive back to Thursday. We're trying to hustle her up because obviously we're down a jailer and then we have another jailer that's going to be off for 5 to 6 weeks with surgery coming up, which I think next Monday she has surgery. So I asked her if she could come in on some evenings. She's got to give a 30-day notice to her current job, but she said she'd be willing to come in on the evenings for a few hours and then on the weekends to come in to try to expedite her training. So hopefully that maybe by the time she has to be done with her current job, she'd be able to jump right in and start covering shifts for us if we can continue to kind of speed up her training process. So,
So you're talking Thursday, the 25th?
yep. So retroactive to Thursday, the 25th, and I believe her starting pay according to the union contractor would be $21 an hour.
Will she stay as a part-time jailer or is she gonna move up when she's all trained?
So with the vacancy that we have, we currently have 3 full-time jailers, 40 hours a week, and then we have 3 30-hour-a-week jailers. One of the previous 30-hour-a-week jailers jumped up and took the full-time opening.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
kind of it's based on seniority and stuff.
Yeah.
And so no, she'll be 30 hours a week guaranteed. And then obviously she could get more hours than that, with the part-timers that we have, they can jump up and fill in shifts for vacation and sick and stuff like that. So
Okay, perfect.
And that's at $21 an hour?
$21 an hour. And then under the current union contract, then I believe we start off at 21. After 6 months and their 40-hour jail certification, they go to 22 for the next 6 months.
Mhm.
And then after a full year of service, and everybody goes up to max pay, which is currently $23 an hour.
You're gonna be in conflict with your mom?
No, at most, they will have a 1-hour shift overlap. We have, some shift overlap. They work 10-hour shifts. So we have 5-hour shift overlap from 11 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon. And then we have a 1-hour shift overlap between 8 at night and 9 at night. So no, I don't expect. I mean, we had Marge Hood and Mary Olson were sisters that worked and so, no, I don't expect there'll be any kind of an issue.
Good.
All right, I'll make the motion to approve the hire of Captain Hood for a part-time jailer at $21 an hour.
I'll second that.
Retroactive.
Retroactive.
25th.
$25.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. You got it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Cory. Don't know whether Ben's out there or not. Let's move down to proof. Nick Torkelson on the Board of Adjustment. I think you guys got a
Yeah.
text on that.
Yeah, same one Dave saw, it's Nick Torkelson.
Yeah.
That, it's Randy, you can read his information, he was given the information and Randy talked to him, and
Yeah,
he agreed.
when I was out looking for Board of Adjustments, he said he was willing and able to do it. So I gave Randy his name and evidently he accepted, so.
Good.
So we'll still be one board member short.
He's still working, but I would make the motion as a accept and place on the Board of Adjustment, Dave Torkelson.
Nick.
Nick.
Nick, excuse me, Nick, I was looking.
Dave
at
might not accept.
No, Dave might not. Nick Torkelson on the Board of Adjustment.
I'll second.
Okay, any other discussion?
Hey,
All in favor?
The only discussion I'd say, I think we need to reach out to some of these younger fellows,
Exactly.
people, and
Yeah.
get them more
Yeah.
active in the county.
Yes, I agree.
They're our future leaders.
And the guy said he
Yep.
is
Stepped
younger
up.
and he did the step up, yep.
Mhm.
Thanks, Rick, for reaching
Yeah,
out.
thank you. Yeah.
Okay, now I'm good.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All carried. Okay, I don't think.
I don't see him.
Yep, I don't either.
Here, one of these truckies? No, that's Corey. Sorry.
He's not here yet. We can do one down.
2080.
Yeah, move on down.
2080 with Pocahontas on the environmental health services.
I haven't heard any problems.
I was just gonna say, but
How is it, or the new
does he
guy?
still come to the Board of Health meeting?
He didn't make the last meeting, but he does come over to the Board of Health meetings and seems to be doing all right. He's doing a lot of training. He says it's a lot of learning. So
Okay,
This is basically the same agreement we've had with Pokey.
Yes, increase in wage.
but on here? Do what I'm blind.
On the 6 bullet point thing there,
Oh, there one.
I think it was like 38 or 30.
Okay.
Something like that, 30. I looked at one time.
not exceed 41.68 an hour.
Yep.
And then it should change at the annual rate approved by the Board of Supervisors.
If I remember right, Pocahontas does the same thing that we agreed to do. It's so many cents below the federal.
Yep.
Level. I'll make that motion to accept the community agreement for shared environmental health services. Gotta have something.
Mm-hmm.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
I
Put it on and sign it.
No.
Moving on down to that place on file, the Monero Management annual update for JDSD funds, like 64,403 and 64,358.
It was slowing down there for a while. Now back up. I'll make that motion to accept and place on file the MMP annual updates for JDSD farm sites 64403 and 64358.
A second.
I'll second it. Don't have a whole lot of,
I mean, there's no we can speak, nothing we can do about it anyway. It's a
Well, at
state.
least they admit them now.
Yeah,
Yeah, true.
we're good. Basically acknowledging that we received it.
Like they're both the same, pretty much. It's over 55 pounds. All in favor?
All right,
Aye.
Opposed, carried.
Maybe.
Okay, quarterly report for Veterans Affairs. I haven't heard complaints about being moved upstairs, except they don't like it, but.
Change, everybody hates change,
Yeah,
based in reality.
change.
Yep,
Yeah, we don't have any coffee shop close by.
true, have to get them a little.
But after
clearer.
they figured out how to get in the building, get up there on the elevator, they seem to be happy with it. They are looking for people that would, transport veterans to the hospital.
So would that entail, no wheelchairs or anything like that, right?
Right.
They would just pick them up,
They gotta go on a wheelchair, we'll have to
take them on the city bus.
get on a bus or something.
Alright.
Yeah. Looks like you got a couple people, but it always helps to have more, which is good, I'm glad there's.
And they must, get their mileage paid the way it looks.
They get the mileage paid at their going rate.
Mhm.
Have they
We've
reached
got
out?
two or
to-
three of them in there. We had one, I think it was last week, I got a call on. Guy needed groceries, needed somebody to take him to the grocery store. Uh, Stuff like that, and down to Fort Dodge to the VA clinic. Down there in the backside of La James building. So if anybody wants to drive a veteran, you get mileage. What's our rate, 60? Is it 62 we said it at?
It will be.
Will be
Yeah,
60 now,
right now.
yeah.
Would be very
so.
greatly appreciated by
Yeah.
both, and you probably have a little enjoyment with the,
Oh, yeah,
A lot of good conversation.
I'm guessing.
Gotta do is call Wilson upstairs and Veterans Affairs Director, and he will take care of getting you signed up and all that good stuff. So I have a,
Make a motion that we do accept and place on file the Veterans Affairs quarterly report that ended, December 31st, 2023.
I'll second that.
any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
And the names on here. On this report, there's no client names because of confidentiality. The one name on there is a landlord.
Right. And saw that.
So you don't need them back?
Nope.
Yeah.
There's no, we can't put names on it anymore, so,
Which makes sense.
because we don't get over the contract. Okay. Ben hasn't come in yet?
I still don't see the pickup. Wonder if they're having trouble over it.
We'll go on down to committees, I guess. Committee report. Sure.
All right, well, doing that, past Wednesday, the 24th, I had a decategorization meeting that afternoon in Webster City. Actually went pretty well. Then on Thursday, we had, back-to-back meetings, 911 service board and then an EMA service board, for budget discussion. One was at 6, one was at 6:45. That was on Thursday evening. And that's what I had for meetings last week.
I had the IDDA meeting over, we had this week, we had, or month, we had it in, Wright County. Topics of this discussion were, the next annual meeting will be the 6th of December in Fort Dodge again. We talked about Story County. They were in 1 year and then dropped out. We don't know why. They just, they said they're not gonna do it. I think it's Hamilton County was in, they've been in and out. And we're trying to find out. So if anybody does any dealings with the supervisors from Hamilton County, we could do some help visiting with them about all the good we do. You
Okay,
know, we got the railroad thing changed, we got the raise in the repair from 50,000 to 139,000. One of the legislative things that's this year, again, they'll be working on is the publication of all the drainage business that goes on in the paper. Some of these counties have to put it in 3 papers and it gets pretty darn
oh,
expensive.
yeah.
So
Is that on Wednesday?
that was on Wednesday at 9 o'clock in Wright County. And then I did get elected chairman again.
Pretty good.
Well,
Congratulations.
hey.
Is it a landslide?
It was a long time. It was a sweet,
Once you're the chair, it's hard to get off of those.
yeah.
Even if you try to stack the ballot box, it doesn't help.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So that was about it there. You know, the pipeline thing has cooled down a little bit,
that's it.
but, I'm sure they're gonna come back at us
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
And so. That's all I have.
Seems like,
Well, we'll look forward to your speech in December.
Yeah, I gotta
Yes.
work on some.
you got a lot of, yeah, you know the dates, so like, we
Yeah,
said, you got a lot of
I
time to
got
work
time
on
to
that.
work on it, yeah.
Oh, mercy.
I asked him the last meeting, he said he wasn't giving a speech, maybe he'll give one this year.
Mhm.
You said to touch base with Hamilton County.
Yeah,
Start doing, have they been members?
I don't know if they have or not, but they should be.
It's true, they should be.
Story, yeah, they don't, I don't know if they have a lot of drainage.
They
I don't
do.
know- I
They
don't know
do.
why
All they do.
Yeah, why they would pop in and out,
And,
but those. I think they're the 3-member board.
they're a 3-member board
Yeah, I
and they're
know.
all fairly new.
Yeah, I was just gonna say they, because the one gal was, because I went with new training with her, she was elected the same time I was.
Mhm.
And the one was a state legislator, and then she became supervisor.
Yeah,
Well, Wright County's a 3-member board and they're going back to a 5,
they're so
Yeah,
come back
going
to a
back to 5,
5,
yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
so.
Well, I
It's
could,
hard to be a 3-member board. A lot more work, I
Mhm.
mean,
Lots of
just
meetings.
lots of meetings, and also you gotta be so careful with the open
Yeah.
meeting laws and everything, and
Mhm.
they're working on.
Because if 2 of you have a conversation, you're breaking the rules.
Right,
I'll touch base with them.
Yeah.
About that. I know a couple of those guys pretty well.
yeah,
All right, on Tuesday, we had Udmo down and I drove down Fort Dodge and listened to it on the Zoom down there. Once again, the raises that they're going to be able to, distribute probably aren't to the likings of the workers, which caused some people last time when they cut the hours back on some of our locations, they ended up having some people. They just, single parent that needs the
mhm,
insurance and can't afford only working the 4 days, so they ended up having to. It's kind of hurts both sides, so. Anyway, we had that meeting, they also had that Bundy hearing, Dean said that they gave him an extension,
yeah.
so. I don't know,
Do you know what that extension means?
well, there was a time,
So they'll just have another
Get it
court
cleaned
case in
up.
3 months?
Yeah,
well, they're gonna, yeah.
they gotta get it cleaned up.
They gotta move it, they're making, whether they're making progress or whatever, but he extended it out. And I guess I forgot to write down how far, so.
I think it was April.
Yeah,
April.
I was
I believe it's
thinking
May
we should-
7th.
Well. Been a long time, been a long argument, so. On Thursday, I had CFR, did that on Zoom. Pretty much all of the same things there, doing, their numbers are up. Got a lot of people seeking help, drugs and alcohol, so kind of like what Katie said. On Friday, I went, rode with Rick Rasmussen down to Eldora, for juvenile detention. Have some issues going on down there with billing and some of the things that are, have been argued about for some time. I think that we're hopefully working on their handbook. The executive board is working on their handbook in order to make that. But Trish, I would just say if we do get bills from them, reach out to the juvenile courts. Make sure that that is our bill, because right now that's the counties that are fighting. Whether the kid was from their county or whether the crime occurred in their county, then the juvenile courts have the ability to say who pays that bill, so. That's, and Tony said that that part of the things that they're going to work on with the legislative session this year is. Because the state's kind of stepping away from that as well, so. And. Our numbers down there, I mean, they're scary to think. You look at that sheet and see what some of those kids are in there for, and 13 to 15 years old, and. Just sad.
Yeah.
But. That's what we deal with, so.
Right.
That's all I had.
And you're right, Eric, Mondays was making up, yeah,
Yeah, and like Bruce mentioned, they just seem to kind of be kicking it down the road.
yeah. Okay, on the 23rd, Tuesday, I had a good neighbors meeting. And, they talked about, I've never heard of this place, no, I can't remember the name of the place now, in, Pomeroy. They play bands, and so they were talking about how to save that area, and people will just go there and it's a music thing. Gosh darn it, and I just had it, and I lost, when I went to the Bundy email, I messed up on mine. But anyway, they were talking about, how we in Humboldt County can save our little places that are of interest, that we don't wanna, help them. The Arts Council, they lost their building, but the membership and things like that, little things that help within the county. So it was really interesting. And then ministerial was supposed to be Wednesday, but I had to take my mom to Western Langle Clinic quickly, so I could not make the ministerial meeting on Wednesday. That's all I had.
Okay, Wednesday, I had a Midas meeting. Most of the people zoomed in because of the ice. I was down in Fort Dodge, so I went to the office down there. I was looking here, they're going to raise the fees or raise 5%, I believe it was. The insurance went up 30%. For the buses and all that stuff. So. And they're trying to get money to do the building. On the highway bridges, Murray and the one at Thor was mentioned. There it is, vehicle insurance jumped to 127,700 from 98,000. So Yeah,
Did they ever get a bus driver hired in town?
no, we're still
Still
one short
looking?
in Humboldt. I was gonna find it here. The trail from, Webster County up to the county line, I think is in 26. In their plan. Um, boy. What they're doing in our county is, city abode is codification of ordinances, environmental review for CDBG applications. Humboldt was, 5210. Check with IDPH on the first Tuesday. Livermore codification of ordinances. Thor is the grant. Comprehensive plan for the county, zoning maps for the county, and hazard mitigation plans for the county. So they're still working on that. They did hire another planner. It'll be summertime, hopefully turned into full-time. She'll start in May, I think it was. And then they hopes to get our maps done. That was supposed to have been done a year ago. They still can't get planners down there, it seems like, so. They've reached out, so hope the new one will help. That's all I had for the week.
Does it have a new rate for us? in there?
Someplace in there. You can have that if you want it.
Okay, that'd be great. Thank you.
The new rate will be in there. I can't remember just what page, but that's their whole report. Mr. Ben, you're up.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Got two items for the agenda for today, and they're pretty much tied together. The items are to approve the 2080 agreement between the 7 counties and the Iowa County Engineers Association Service Bureau. This is the formal language of the agreement that we had previously discussed. This spells out the funding that we're requesting. If you look on page 3, it lists Humboldt County for the Murray Bridge project with the preliminary estimate and the funds that we are requesting out of the RAISE grant. This includes a pretty decent sized contingency. I think it's like a 22% cost of inflation, assuming things continue to increase between now and when the project gets let. So the portion that we're asking for in this RAISE grant is 3.22 million. But this is like I said, this is the formal agreement between all of the counties and the County Engineers Association. Page 6 has a county signature block. Assuming that you're fine with the language of the 2080 agreement. And then the second item on the agenda is to approve the resolution that we will be a sub-county. Butler County accepted the role of being the lead applicant out of the 7 counties. They've got the office staff and personnel to be able to take the lead responsibility. I think they have 7 people in their engineer's office.
Good.
So that 2080 agreement and then subsequent resolution. It's kind of both tied to the raise grant application.
If you live this county, really asking for a lot. We must have one heck of a.
Yeah, I think, looking at it, theirs is tied to the railroad too, so that increases the
Raises,
cost for them. I think all total with the 7 projects, we're right at 25 million.
Mhm.
Is
That's
what the
kind
county,
of the cap that they can get. or
that's the cap. Yep.
something.
Okay.
You know, if we could get the 3.2 would help us out of that.
Oh, man.
It really would. So if we get the 3.2 off of this, plus the 2 million that we've already got. It's right around 600,000 would be what we'd be expecting to pay out of pocket for local. So
That would really help.
10% of the cost.
Yeah.
Then who is actually doing the grant work on this then?
HDR is the company that we've hired to write the grant application
For all the entities,
for all of the entities. Yeah, that's the one that we approved here a month or so ago. I think their fee was roughly 150,000 divided by the 7 counties.
125.
Yeah, yep. I believe our portion was like $20,400 or something. We paid it in the last claims period.
Mhm.
The 2080 agreement is just with the, all the entities, all of the.
It's with the 7 counties and the Service Bureau. So,
So we think we got all of our i's dotted and t's crossed and ready to sign, so I'll make a motion to approve the 2080 interagency agreement for the 2024 race grant.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All is carried.
It says approved resolution number 2024 dash. Do we have a number?
Oh, wait.
Wait,
oh wait,
well, along with that, I'd make a motion that we approve the resolution number 2024 dash 08. Is a letter of support for the race grant application.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All is carried.
I think we've had other economic group to sign the letter also, I think, haven't they?
everybody, all the others have signed off. I sent out an email this morning to all of you as well as local fire departments, elevators, Kyle down at EMA, Humboldt County Development, conservation, as far as starting to get letters of support for this project. I'm optimistic that I'll get, be nice to get at least 10 back. Senator Guth and Thompson as well. But I just got that out this morning.
Through this whole application thing, how soon do those need to be back?
I'd like to see them back by the 9th, but I think at the latest, they need to be back by the 16th. Our application is,
Up then,
Yep.
did you mention that to them, so the people that you sent requests,
I believe it was in the email. I'll
so
double
that
check.
they don't just sit on it, and,
Yeah.
you know, oh yeah, we're supportive, but they need to send it back to you.
Yes, yeah,
Okay. Thanks for all your hard work with this.
yeah.
So is the weeding out pretty much done? We're
Yeah.
in the final.
We
tier of the-
are we're one of the 7 that were selected for the Iowa application. So, yes, the weeding out is done as far as Iowa is concerned. The next phase of weeding out will be on the federal level when these get submitted the end of February. And they go through the process of deciding who they're going to approve.
Is it,
One last hurdle.
But it'll be still that clump.
Yes.
They won't be picking.
They
one or
won't
two
just
of our
say,
7.
yeah, they won't just say 1 or 2. The application
Oh.
is all 7.
kind of an all or none
Right.
for this group?
Well, that's the way I remembered it, but I just wanted to make sure I re-listened to it. So, well, we're closer.
We are getting closer. Like I said, get this completed and we'll, have that one last hurdle here, which we should find out the end of June, whether or not we get approved after we submit. So,
And where are we sitting with our geology or what, not with our looking for snails and tadpoles and
Arrowheads.
no burial grounds that we could
So-
come across?
So that portion of it is completed. They found nothing of any significant value. I've got 2 proposals from engineering firms on my desk for me to review. To complete the design phase. And take it all the way to final submission and construction staking. And like I said, I need to sit down and review them and make sure that they're apples to apples as far as what they're proposing for work, but
Good.
I should have that hopefully next Monday to the agenda.
Well, we all appreciate everything you're doing, and I'm sure it's almost to the point of overwhelming
A little bit.
the brain a little bit to think, do I have all this stuff done in the right place? So we appreciate it very much, so
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay, and then I think we got a work session after this.
I think we're pretty well done other than that.
Okay,
Other than that.
perfect.
On Murray Bridge, is that gonna get moved? Cause on the Midas,
So I had to,
they had it over a mile or half mile.
so if you remember, a year ago when we did budget and 5-year plan work session, we had Murray Bridge on year 5.
Mhm.
Well, as far as, for the STIP, they only show 4 years. So for the feds, they can't see that 5th year out there, so we had to,
Move it forward.
when we did our, program amendment here last month, we pulled Murray Bridge from year 5 to year 4. So if the feds go in and start looking, they see that project 4 years out. That's mainly, we did, so it was,
I won't lose your page.
Oh, sorry.
it was a stipulation just pulling Murray Bridge from year 5 to year 4. And then, the Thor Bridge was, switching who was gonna have the initial fee responsibility. Because the town of Thor didn't have
We
the
put it
funding
in,
capable.
we're
Yep.
a flow through account for
Yep, we're gonna fund it through our farm to market account and then get reimbursed by the state. So
Here's what I was looking at, the bridge is down here now, is this,
that's the new proposed alignment. Yep,
okay, it's gonna be over here.
it's gonna be over there.
Okay, everybody,
Straight off the curve.
straight down on Elm, straighten that whole road out, so,
That is the
okay.
goal.
That's what I was wondering. Okay, anybody got anything else come for the board?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second that.
Any discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Adjourn 9:30. We have a building and budget work session.
Again.